Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you this cute little project that uses products from the new mini catalogue. This is the Harvest Meadow suite. I've not used all of the elements from it, but most of. As you can see, I've created this lovely little shadow frame little gift. I think this would make a really nice little gift for someone. So part of the suite then, we have this lovely stamp, so some really pretty images, really nice font with the sentiments there. That's the stamp. Then we have the Harvest dies, which you get 2 sheets of, and as you can see, these are the elements that I've used here. So that one is the flower and the grassy one, and then yes, and then that is that one. I've just cut it shorter, I was trying to think then. So yeah, and then we also have these this will obviously, this one will go die cut the flower, this one, this flower, and then we have these 2 lovely borders as well for sentiments, and this sort of twig type die there, that's really pretty. It also comes with this embossing folder and time worn type, and I don't know if you can see, it has got sort of typing on it. I haven't used it yet, although I nearly bought it and then realised I've got it as part of the suite. So I clearly do like it, so I will be using that, but not just yet. You also get 2 sheets of this 12 by 12 cork speciality paper. It actually is like cork, so it just has a basic back, but the front really does look like cork, and it feels like cork as well. It's really, really nice. We have the brushed metallic adhesive backed dots. Again, as you can see, I've just used a couple on here, but they're really pretty, nice different shades there. We have the diamond weave ribbon, which again I've used up here. But yeah, that's really pretty and slightly different and thicker to the lace one we have. This is more of a, if you like, a crochet type maybe, but that's really, really nice, quite thick too. And then we have the DSP, which obviously I've used a fair bit of with this. These are my offcuts here, but as you can see, we have like a willow effect here, and this is the reverse. Then we have blue and calypso coral here. This one, again, as you can see, I used for the outside of the box. That has this pretty pattern on. Beautiful soft succulent here, time worn type DSP. And again, and then as you can see, pattern calypso coral, and then this beautiful blue, it's misty moonlight, and then the yellow on the back, which is bumblebee. So that is the suite. And so yeah, I wasn't sure what to make with it because there were so many lovely elements, so I went ahead and created this. Now, I did make my first one out of the cork. It took a whole sheet, near enough, but I just wasn't happy with it. As you can see, it's not very easy to score, and then the adhesive just didn't, I mean, you can see here, look, you can hardly see the scoring, and then it just didn't quite work for me. And as much as I did think it would look really good, it just didn't work. It just doesn't stay adhered very well. So I changed it, went with DSP that I knew would work, and then I added some in the back, so it's a little bit like a notice board almost, and I actually think it looks better there. So that's the one I decided on. Right, let's go ahead and make this. So I'm going to use this DSP this time. I'm going to go with this lovely pattern. So to start off with then, you need a piece of DSP that is 9 by 7 or 20 by 25 centimetres. Oh, and this suite is on page 54 and 55 of the new catalogue, just in case you do have one in front of you. So 9 by 7, 20 by 25 centimetres. So we're going to score all the sides at 1/2 inch up to the 2 inch side. So 1/2 inch one, 1.5, 2, and in centimetres it will be 1.5, 3, 4.5 and 6. And then we're just going to do the same, rotate again, so every 1/2 inch up to the 2 inch. Same again, just do it on all 4 sides. And then the last set. And then before you put your scoring tool etc. away, so I'm going to fold these just so that you can see where these are, because otherwise you won't see them very easily. So those are my 4 score lines. So on the long side you've got your 1, 2, 3, 4 score lines here. What you're then going to do is score another 1/2 or 1.5 centimetres just down to the second score line. And then on this side we're going to do the same again, so 1, 2, 3, 4 score lines in, same again down to the second. Okay, rotate completely so you've got the other long side at the top, and repeat. So 1/2 inch down to the second score line, 1/2 inch in, down to the second score line. Okay, so you should have, there we go, the sort of half there, and then your full ones carrying on. Okay, so once you've done that, you're then going to go along, fold and burnish all of your score lines. I have made shadow boxes before of different types, but I love the way they just create something unique and something pretty. And it doesn't really matter whether you you know, do it for a decoration or you actually put a picture inside. They can just look really pretty. Okay, so let's go along all of them. It can take a minute, but it is worth doing this properly because it will help when you come to the end and folding it all up. Okay, so once we've done all of that, we've folded and burnished all of those, we're going to do some cutting. So where we did those little halfway score lines, we're actually using that as a cutting guide. So I'm going to cut down to that second line. I'm then going to cut diagonal across to the full score line, if I can get my scissors to cut diagonally. There we go. And down to the bottom one. And then when you turn it around, we're actually going to cut all of this away. Okay, and then we're going to repeat it this side. So I'm going to cut down those 2 across diagonally and down, and then cut away. It's not actually very easy to see on this paper. And then again, same on the opposite side. So cut down 2, cut diagonally across, and then down to the last one. And then we're going to cut this bit away. And the last one, down 2, across 1, down 1, cut away. Okay, so, no, it's okay. I'm dog sitting at the moment, so I have an extra dog that does like to bark a little bit, so I'm going to apologise in advance. So you should now be left with this shape, and this is actually really the simplest part. So on these straight cut pieces here, we're simply going to grab our adhesive and we're just going to roll it across the pattern side of the end panel, and then you just roll it under, and I try and tuck this edge against the last score line there, So try not to get my fingers stuck, because what you're creating is the cube, and then you can actually fold it flat just to press that adhesive down. Okay, so that's what you're wanting to do. Same on this side. So tuck that in, press it down. Okay, so you can see how this is starting to evolve. Now what I did forget in my haste was to add my card. Now I'm hoping, but it's not, so I'm going to have to trim this down just a fraction. So let me have a quick look what size that's going to be. Let's try going to take that bit off and see if that will just tuck in. Yes, ideally you need to add your background first, but unlike me, or should I say don't do what I did and forget. Okay, so you can't cut the cork bit with a very small amount. You have to make sure there we go. So I'm going to tuck that in underneath. So add some adhesive onto this, and then I'm just going to tuck this under that edge there. And then hopefully, there we go. So there's my background that I forgot to add. And then again for this one, when we're going to flip it over, put adhesive on the long sections, flip it back over, and then where you've got your angled cut here, we're going to add some there too. Okay, and then we are going to tuck this under as we did previously, but we're also going to make sure that this sits square here. Okay, and they just adhere there like so, and then we're going to repeat this side. So tuck that adhesive, tuck that square into there, that one onto there. There we go. And there is your shadowed frame, all pretty and ready to decorate. So let's pop it to one side. So I have a selection here, so I'm going to use this one for the inside. So I'm just going to grab those dies. So I want this one for that. I'm going to use this one for that one, and that one for the yellow one. I'm going to bring my Big Shot in. Not much. Do you know, I am so used to saying Big Shot that when I'm not actually thinking properly I forget and say the wrong thing. It's not Big Shot, it's my cut and emboss machine that is wonderful. So I'm going to pop this in here, and I'm using the bigger one because I'm going to be a bit cheeky and do two at a time to save time. So I'm going to run those two through first. And I think I've mentioned this before, I love this die cutting where you don't need to line anything up. So that one, that one, and that one. The DSP for the card panel for the backing, which I used the cork for, is 5 inches by 3 inches, by the way, which is 7.5 by 12.5. I did forget to mention that bit. So I'm going to pop these on here. And this through. Wonderful. Get rid of those dies. And then I have my lovely die cuts here. And there's that one. And there's that one. So we'll get rid of this. Okay, so I want to add a little bit of adhesive, so I'm just going to use a glue dot on that piece there, and it's almost, I've actually done this the other way round, but I quite like it this way round. And then I think I need one on here. I don't quite know what's happened to these glue dots and if they've changed them, but for some reason they now sit on the piece you pull off, not on here, which I'm struggling to get to grips with because it's not how I usually use them. So I am finding it a little bit tricky. I'm not going to fib. Right, trim some of the stem off there because I don't need all of that, and then stick it onto my cork. So I'm going back in again with some of these fabulous glue dots. So just adding them. Oops, stuck to my nail. Yeah, I don't know if it's just a dodgy batch or not, but I don't really like them on that side. Right, so that's just going to go in just like so, and then I'm going to add some adhesive to this one on that one side and some there on the leaves, and then just stick it over the top there, and that will actually hold them in place. Get rid of that bit of adhesive there before I stick to it, and then again just going back in with some more adhesive now to put it in place on here. And then again just trim off the excess on the bottom. And then I need to add a loop of ribbon. So this gorgeous ribbon, and then I'm going to use some of my good old-fashioned tear and tape, but I call it cut and tape because I cut it, just onto these parts. You can see the adhesive shining at me. And then I'm just going to flip that over, take the backing off there and pop it there, and again backing off this piece here and loop that round to sit on there. So there's my little hanging hook, and then I just need my sentiment there. So I have some of the lovely soft succulent, and I believe that I used, did I use this one? Treasured Tags. Did I use this one? No, I think I used this one, but I'm sorry, but I really can't remember the names of these. I know they're Pick a Punch, but I genuinely don't ever remember the names of them, and I haven't written it on my list, which is very naughty of me. Okay, so first the mark here. I just want to grab my stamp set, and I'm going on this lovely sentiment here. I'm going to heat emboss it on some of this soft succulent cardstock. Make sure I give myself plenty of room either end for that punch, and then my embossing powder. I will have the correct name for this punch on my blog. It's just that I've forgotten what it is now, and right, that's, don't need that extra bit there. Right, so don't need the spoon either. Heat emboss this lovely sentiment. Okay, that's that bit done. And then I just need to trim this down to put it through the punch. Take that off. I'm going to go this way actually. So I'm going to go with the 3/4 width. And just trim that off there. And then I'm just going to pop it in to the punch here. And again, the other side. Don't feel like that's it. Oh, it is in. Might need to. Oh no, I think that's okay. And then, last but not least, some of these really pretty brushed metallic dots. Oh, crumbs. Which one has come off on my thumb. So, oh no, it came off the adhesive spot, never mind. So this one, I'm going to go for the gold one, I think. Yes, I like that. And then, last but not least, I'm going to pop a couple of dimensionals on the end, but I'm actually going to put a mini one at the bottom here in the centre, so it will sit on the bottom of here. And then this should cover up any of your little mistakes or errors. Perhaps it's a fraction too long, but either way, I think it's really pretty. And I think any friend would be really pleased to receive that. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget, if you spend over £45, you're also entitled to your celebration item. And obviously if you bought this suite, then you would be able to get 2 celebration items. Head over to my blog, have a look, and see you all again soon. Bye.